Alrighty, this is part two, guys. Some saying? Yeah, Ivan, what's the main reason they're gonna beg? The main reason why these Ains actors are gonna beg because they want to be saved. That's the first reason. The second reason is my Skysource company is better than Hollywood. I showed you guys pictures of the kind of property land I'm gonna own, man. I'm gonna own like something like Gran Turismo. Yeah, remember that? Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, think something like that for my property of land. You know what I'm saying? My company's better than Hollywood. My company pays more than Hollywood too. And don't forget, I gave the actors freedom, whereas in Hollywood, you do not get your free millions. You have to pay to make your millions. In this world, if you want to make a lot of money, you have to pay a price. They're not just going to offer you fame for free. No, if you want to be famous and live this life, you got to pay a price for this. Whereas for my company, they got freedom, obviously. That's not really the main reason they're going to beg, though. You know what I'm saying? Because even though they're in Hollywood and they're dirty slaves, they're still living a decent life because they're making a lot of money for themselves. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, the main reason why they're going to beg it because they want to be saved. The Zionist actors want to be saved. They don't want. They were used to being saved for a couple of years, man. I don't know. I saved them for a good like 4.5, 5 years of their life. So imagine being saved for 5 years of your life and you experience that international fame. The whole world's tuning into your social media. You feel on top of the world. You're part of that fame with the trailers, the documentary, the billboards, of the red carpet. Yeah, you're my co-star. It's a good feeling. And all of a sudden the journey ends. They know they're going to go back to Hollywood. They know they're going to let behind. It's a shitty feeling. They're going to beg. Yeah, because the actors want to be saved and they don't want to be left behind. At the same time, Sky Source is better than Hollywood. My company's better than Hollywood. Yeah, it's better than Hollywood, man. Hence why VJ made that Better Than You song. Yeah, the world's gonna beg for forgiveness. The Hollywood actors are gonna beg the actors for word. They're gonna beg these actors, the Zane's actors for word, and all the Zane's actors and the Grayscape actors and their unique actors and so on. They're all gonna beg me VJ to resign them. Even guys like Keanu Reeves and Scarlett Johansson Ben Affleck are gonna beg too, and those guys are big. They don't. Keanu Reeves doesn't struggle getting roles. The guy lands roles with ease. Easily demand his nice 20, 25, $30 million for his movies, 50 million for his movies, and he can get a nice piece of the profits. And yet even he will beg his ass off me like we saw because he'd rather work for me than work in Hollywood. Even please, man, he might even cry. You might see guys that even Keanu. You might even see guys like Keanu Reeves and Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson tearing up. Ivan, please, man, I want to be saved. I don't want to be left behind, man, because they know if they go back to Hollywood, they're going to be left behind. Yeah, I don't want to have that horrific feeling that I had for the process of Zane's, man. It was a shitty feeling. I now experience this fame with you, and I'll say it. I don't want to be left behind, Ivan. Please resign us. I'm saying, look, man, you guys can beg all you want. You can cry even. You cry tears. I'm not fucking saving you for their unique. You're not good for their unique, man. I don't care about the fucking their unique actors. I know you guys don't care about the Hollywood actors because you guys are all selfish people. I was nice to save you for the greatest gift. I'm not saving you for what? For their unique. You're not good for their unique, Keanu Reeves. You're not good at all. Oh my god. Ben, you're not good for their unique. Ivan, please, man, can I be in your romance movie? I'm like, no, Ben, you're not good for their unique. Yeah, man, it's actually funny. I'm saying, Ivan, please, man, like your company's so spread. How I know it is. I know it is, guys. You know what I'm saying? They also know my company pays more in Hollywood. As Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson signed like their what? They signed like their 89, 85, $90 million deal. They're going to make probably a good amount of $40 million, $45 million, $50 million in royalties. And they made a nice like $47 million in, with salary and bonuses. Hollywood doesn't pay them that kind of money. Chances are Ben Affleck makes on average maybe 15 million for his movies. 12 million, 10 if he's lucky, and 20 if he's really lucky. You know what I'm saying? Scarlett Johansson probably makes on average 15, 20 million for her movies. Whereas she signed like an 85, $90 million deal for my movie. I paid her way more than how much Hollywood pays her. Hence why, and I gave her freedom. Hence why, yeah, I'd rather work for Rival than fucking work in Hollywood, man. Even though I know I want to be successful in Hollywood, I can bargain for my 15, 20, $12 million. Like, Hollywood is not Sky Source, man. Yeah, like, my movies are still side attention. My career feels meaningless. Yes. They know their careers are going to feel meaningless when they go back to Hollywood. Think about it. They know they can land roles easily and demand and what? And bargain for high salaries, obviously. And even then, they'd rather work for me because my company's better than Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? My company pays more than Hollywood on average. There's exceptions where Hollywood can pay more. Like Keanu Reeves signed a $250 million deal for The Matrix, whereas no actor for my company will make $250 million. The only ones who can make more than that are the directors who are really, really big. Like Peter Jackson signed like a $500 million deal for my company, obviously. A $450 million deal, massive contract, obviously. But no actor from my company will ever sign a $250 million deal. The highest contract an actor will sign for my company is about a $170 million deal around there. So there's exceptions where Hollywood can pay more, but how it works in Hollywood is only one actor makes a lot of money, and everyone else gets shitty money because they have to have balance. I'm saying, huh? But Keanu Reeves knows that the chances of him bargaining for another $250 million contract is very, very slim. Obviously, after The Matrix, Keanu Reeves never made that kind of money ever again. Chances are, for all his other movies, he only made like $15-12 million for his movies on average. And he negotiated for a piece of the profits. You see what I'm saying? Matrix was the one franchise where he made a lot of money. $250 million. Was all his other movies he made probably around $15-12 million. $10 million for his movies. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously. Man, it is really, really humid in my room, man. I'm sweating balls right now. Yeah. Yeah, hence why they're all gonna really, really beg, man. All ranks of actors. Like, even when, in other words, when Keanu Reeves and Scarlett Johansson and Ben Affleck beg me and VJ to resign them, I'm gonna be shocked. Holy shit. Like, in other words, I'm going to expect Keanu Reeves and Scarlett Johansson and Ben Affleck to not beg me just to resign them. Because they were saved, chances are they are going to beg. And when they beg, I'm going to be shocked. Holy shit. Like, even guys like Keanu Reeves and Scarlett Johansson and Ben Affleck are begging me and just to resign them, and they don't struggle any roles at all. They can easily demand $20-50 million salary. Yeah, I mean, even though I'm going to go back to Hollywood and I'll be successful. Like, even though I'm successful in Hollywood, if I'm not a part of your fame and glory, my career feels meaningless, man. We're small compared to you, Ivan. Yeah, they know they're small compared to me. They know, yeah, as long as I'm not in Ivan's movie, Vijay's movie, and even if I do my big $100 million movie, it's small compared to Ivan's movie. My career feels worthless and meaningless. Yeah, it feels worthless and meaningless. Hence why I'd rather experience the growing fame with Ivan and be saved. As long as I'm in your movie, Ivan, my career feels like it's worth a lot. Whereas when I'm in Hollywood, my career feels like it's not worth a lot. It's worth a lot, obviously, but it feels like it's not worth a lot because they're the side attention. You know what I'm saying? They're the side attention. They are not the main. They are not the main show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hence why they're not worth taking a certain amount of money off my royalties. Yeah, it's me and Vijay's money. It's not theirs. Don't let them dupe you. But you may be the star in Hollywood. You may get paid a lot of money. In my movie, you're not the main star. You're my co-star, but you're not the main show. You're not the main star. Me and Vijay are the main show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, if Keanu Reeves, because it's not guaranteed they're going to beg. They might not beg. We'll see what happens, obviously. But if they do beg, I'm going to be shocked. Holy shit. Keanu Reeves and Scarlett Johansson are begging me just to resign them. And these are big A-list actors who don't struggle getting roles in Hollywood at all. And yeah, they're begging me, Ivan, please, can I be in your next movie? I'm like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Me and Vijay are shocked. Holy shit. Like, these guys are begging me and Vijay to resign them. And yet they don't struggle getting roles in Hollywood at all. Yeah, I don't want to be left behind, man. Yeah, they don't want to be left behind. Hence why they're going to guarantee they're going to beg. Because they were saved, man. They experienced that international fame. They don't want to be left behind. They know, even though they're going to be successful in Hollywood, they do a $100 million budget movie. They're successful now. They know their movies are still the side attention, man. They feel like they're going to feel like shit. Yeah. They don't want to have that shitty feeling, hence why they're going to beg. All the actors from all levels, for all my movies, are going to beg me each time. Maybe not all of them, but chances are a few of them are going to beg. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they might ask me, Ivan, can you resign for your next movie? They might ask me that. Some of them will beg sincerely. Some of them might just ask me, hey, Ivan, can I be in your next movie? I'm like, no, guys, you're not good for the next movie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Peter Jackson will beg too if he's chosen. Yeah, he's gonna beg his ass off, man. Because he knows he's not gonna make that kind of money in Hollywood. Hollywood would never pay Peter $450 million. No way, they can't afford that, man. That's all. In order for Hollywood to pay Peter $450 million, they have to sacrifice their profits to pay him that kind of money. Yeah, Peter, we can't afford to pay you $450 million. That's crazy. And Peter can probably maybe negotiate on average for like a $30 million base salary and maybe like $70 million, $60 million, $50 million in royalties. Peter Jackson in Hollywood. Hollywood can't afford to give him $400 million in royalties. No, that's all their profits gone, man. They can't do that. I'm saying? They can pay him maybe $200, $250 million in royalties, but not $400, $350. No, it's too much. They can't afford that. It's too much. It's too much. Unless the movie's super successful and it does like $2 billion, they can afford it. But most movies don't do that. Most successful movies do like $500, $400, $600, $700, $800 million. And the rare ones do $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If Peter Jackson's chosen for Zanus, obviously, he's guaranteed gonna beg his ass off because he'd rather work for me than work. I just want to work for you for the rest of my life. I don't want to work in Hollywood, man. I can't stand fucking Hollywood, man. Hollywood's nothing like your company, Ivan. Yeah. Hollywood's not gonna have me stay in a fucking suite for 1 year, have limo services for me for 1 year, feed me a nice luxurious buffet. They're gonna serve me shittier fucking food, man. They're gonna give me a shitty like $100 million budget. You might diss Hollywood. Whereas you gave me an unlimited budget, I didn't have to worry about running out of money for any of my scenes. Yeah, as having an unlimited budget is every director's dream, but it's not gonna happen in Hollywood. Hollywood, they all have limited budgets. They have big budgets, obviously, but it's still limited. So $100 million is a big budget, but it's still limited. You can't do all this stuff that you can do for my movies, I'm saying. Yeah, Pierre knows when he goes back to Hollywood, he can probably negotiate for maybe a $100 million salary. $100 million deal Pierre Jackson can negotiate for in Hollywood. Whereas for my company, he's signed like his $450, $500 million deal. He knows he's never going to make that in Hollywood. He knows, and Pierre knows to make his like $25, $100 million deal, obviously, he has to do it. He knows he has to be a dirty slave in Hollywood to make that money. They're not going to be paying that money in free cash. No, man. Pierre knows he has to do it in Hollywood. Whereas Ivan's company, I got my freedom, yeah. But the main reason why he's going to beg, because he wants to be saved. He experienced the international fame with me and VJ for, I don't know, 4.5, 5 years of his life, man. He was saved for almost 5 years of his life. And the second reason is my company is better than Hollywood. So the first reason why guys like Pierre Jackson and Zayn Ackles are going to beg is because they want to be saved. They don't want to be left behind. They know they were saved for a couple of years. They don't want to lose that feeling. They know if they go back to Hollywood, they're going to have that shitty feeling. They don't want to be left behind. Right? The second reason, obviously, is what? My Skysource company is better than Hollywood. Bigger budget, better perks, limo services, luxury buffet, flying my private jet for the world tour if I go on the world tour. Private jets, partying up my $300 million condo. Whereas in Hollywood, even though the producers have parties with the actors, chances are those producers own like 5, 6, 7, 10, $11 million houses, $12 million houses. It's nothing compared to my $300 million condo. Better perks, yeah. People are like, yeah, man, your company's so much better than fucking Hollywood. Like, yeah, for Lord of the Rings, we had parties on, but like, the studio execs only own like $11 million houses. You own your nice like $300 million condo, yeah. And you own your nice like $55 million jet, $55 million yacht, your nice $40 million jet. You know what I'm saying? You fly us all private. Whereas in Hollywood, they fly us commercial. In Hollywood, they probably fly the actors and crewmen private sometimes. Like if they have a red carpet event. If you have a red carpet event and they fly in the main service, they could fly the actors private sometimes, obviously. But me, I'm flying them privately, like for everything. Whereas in Hollywood, chances are they fly them privately sometimes and they fly them commercial sometimes. Whereas me, I'm flying the actors privately, exclusively privately for everything, which is nice. And me and VJ are gonna own like a $130 million jet. Whereas in Hollywood, if they fly the actors private, chances are it's on a cheaper jet, maybe an $18 million jet. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw pictures of Fellowship of the Ring. It shows the actors getting ready to go on a private jet. Yeah, Hollywood flies the actors privately sometimes, obviously, but it's not the same perk as my company. As I'm gonna own like a $130 million jet, man. Was that jet that I saw in the what? In the what? In the Anything You Can Imagine book. The Anything You Can Imagine book. That's probably like an $18-20 million jet. So I'm saying. Yeah, man. Hence why Peter will beg his ass off, obviously. Mel Gibson will beg too. Ivan, can I direct your next movie, Ivan? I'm like, no, Mel. You're not good for the Great Escape. Ivan, please, man. I don't want to work in Hollywood, man. In other words, my company is so good that all the actors and directors who work for my company, they're not going to want to go back to Hollywood. Ivan, I just want to work for you for the rest of my life, man. Guillermo del Toro will beg too. Ivan, can I direct your next movie? I'm like, no, Guillermo del Toro, you're not good for the Great Escape. Please, Ivan, I don't want to work in Hollywood, man. Hollywood's dirty as fuck. I want to work for you. Your company's 100% clean. A third reason, this is not really a big reason. There are three reasons. The first reason why Peter Jackson and all the actors are going to beg because they want to be saved. They don't want to be left behind. The second reason is my Skysource company is better than Hollywood. Better perks. You know what I'm saying? More money on average than Hollywood, obviously. I pay them more money on average than Hollywood. The third reason is they know Hollywood is dirty. That's another small. It's not a big reason, but it's like at the end of these actors, they don't mind doing it for money. Because they get to live a decent life, but they know the Hollywood system is dirty, man. Yeah, we know if we go back to even though I'm gonna be assessed in Hollywood, we know the CEOs the execs are not gonna pay us $3 million. No, they're gonna make us do it. Yeah, you gotta go in the cockpit and do it, man. The room smells like ash. You gotta put the fan on. Yeah, They know they're going to be dirty slaves when we're all going to go back to being dirty slaves in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? But that's not really a big reason, but they also know, yeah, the Hollywood system is dirty. Whereas Ivan's company's not dirty, it's clean, man. Ivan's is a good king. He's not dirty. He's clean. Whereas Hollywood, they're all dirty, man. They make you do it to make your money, yeah. But the main two reasons is they want to be saved and they don't want to be left behind. And my company's better than Hollywood. Those are the main reasons why they're gonna beg. Peter Jackson, once he experiences my company, I don't know, my nice Gran Turismo property. Remember that ground? Yes, a property like that. He experiences my nice studio office, where my nice boardroom when we write the script. Because I want to write the script by hand first, by pen to paper, and I'll hire a fast typer to type it in the afternoon. Because Ivan, that's smart. Yeah, you're right. If you write on a notebook, you write your screenplay on a notebook, you will concentrate better. You'll get a better script. Yes. Whereas if you write on your laptop, you have distractions. I won't focus as well if I write on my laptop. No. Or if I write on my computer. No, I want to write it on a notebook. I'll buy a professional notebook. Like George Lucas wrote his screenplay on a notebook first. You watch the documentary, you see him writing his screenplay on pencil on a notebook. Yeah, you focus better when you write by hand than when you write on a computer. Really, Ivan? Yes. Yes. I remember when I started writing Zanus, like I don't know, 2011. I remember I wrote on the computer and I was stuck in a lot of scenes. And the moment I wrote it by hand, I was able to focus better. I was able to write my whole, finish up my chapters. Yeah, you focus a lot better when you write by hand. That's why I'm gonna write all my screenplays by hand. My Zanus, I'm gonna write my 3 volumes of Zanus by hand. So I'll have me and Peter and them will be in the boardroom, and I'll have Peter next to me, and John Favreau and Influence will sit next to me, and we write the whole screenplay. We write the whole screenplay in the boardroom. We write the whole screenplay in the boardroom, see what I'm saying? We write the whole screenplay in the boardroom. Yeah. And then I'll hire a fast typewriter to type it out. So while I'm doing the concept arts with Peter and all them in the afternoon, I'll hire someone, the same person who helped me, who wrote down the 4-year plan of Zanus. I'll have him type out the what I wrote down that day. Yeah, can you type it all? Yeah, I can type this. I can type 3 pages in 3.5 hours, Ivan. Easily. Hire a fast typewriter who's fast. That way you can type it down for the afternoon. Then once he types it down, save the file, obviously, and then I'll have John Favreau when he print out a copy of the script for what I wrote down that day, and then Peter Jackson will take his notes with Guillermo del Toro. I don't have to add in my notes for Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson knows what he's doing. I'll tell, if I have ideas, I will tell Peter during the concert. That's what he knows. I'll tell him my ideas during the concert. I mean, that's what he knows. I'll watch those movies with him. I'll tell him yeah, you have to trust Peter. Peter's your director. You have to trust him, obviously. But it doesn't hurt to give him some of your ideas during the concert. I mean, that way he knows. Him and Guillermo del Toro knows. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Peter Jackson experienced my what? My fucking nice property of land. Something like Gran Turismo. Something nicer than Warner Bros. Office, Disney's office. Something nicer than that. Something like Gran Turismo. Remember that picture I showed you? Yeah, something nice like that. I flew in Pravi on my jet. 2 beers, obviously. The GPS system, the GPS payment system. My nice luxury office. My nice boardroom when we write the script. Yeah. The doc team's filming us. He's having a blast, obviously. My nice concert art room. My studio special effects team building. I'm going to give Peter a tour of my building. My studio office and my special effects unit building. Peter's like, Ivan, this is your building? Yeah, Peter, this is where all the departments are going to work. Holy shit, Ivan, this is nice. This is nicer than even Hollywood's fucking special effects buildings, yeah. This is nicer than even ILM and Weta Digital, yeah. Weta Digital and ILM are pretty much like the 2 biggest special effects companies in the world. You know, the building I'm building is even nicer than ILM, man. George Lucas ILM, yeah, it's fucking nice. It's a nice building, I'm saying. And Peter Jackson's shocked, holy shit, this is nice. And that's why he'll beg, obviously. He experienced the unheard technology of the movie for extras, costumes, armors, weapons, the machine for the mask, obviously. You know what I'm saying? The IMAX cameras are the best equipment for the cameras, the luxury buffet food, the kitchen equipment. You know what I'm saying? The Siege $400 million worth of special effects for the world building, for the action sequences, and the horror of the wolves and bats. Yes. I gave Peter an unlimited budget, hence why he will beg. He will beg, obviously. Yeah, man. Ivan, man, can I direct your next movie? I'm like, no, Peter, you're not good for the greatest. Ivan, please, man, I don't want to. You might even cry, man. And if Peter Jackson cries, I'm gonna be shocked. Holy shit, Peter Jackson's begging me to resign him. This guy is big. He doesn't show up getting roles at all. Yeah, because he'd rather work for me than work in Hollywood. He knows he won't make the kind of money that he made for my movie in Hollywood. He knows in Hollywood they're probably going to pay him 25, 30 million bucks in dirty cash. He has to do it, obviously. Whereas for my company, I paid him like $450 million, $500 million. He knows he's never going to make that money in Hollywood. Yeah, I'm never going to make this kind of money in Hollywood. And I'm never going to make that kind of money in free cash. In Hollywood, they're going to make me pay a horrific price to make this money. I'm going to have to smash like dozens of people. Yeah, dirty people. Yeah. I'm going to get burned and I'm saying the room smells like ass. Yeah. Don't hate me, Hollywood, I'm saying. Yeah, man. Some there. That's why Peter will beg, Mel Gibson will beg, and all the Zane's actors will beg. Even my 17 will beg. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, the moment filming is complete for Zane is Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni might perhaps beg. Because they know their contract is now up. Yeah, Ivan can easily choose to resign someone else and he might not resign us. He might pay us our royalties and you might not resign us, Ivan. But Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni want to work for me for the rest of their life, obviously. Ivan, please, man, can you resign me? I don't want to go back to Hollywood. Please, Ivan. I'm like, don't worry, I'll resign you guys. Thank you, Ivan. I'm saying. They might even cry. You might see Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni crying, man. They might cry, yeah. Because they want to be saved. They don't want to be left behind. Ivan, please, I don't want to be left behind, Ivan, man. I don't want to work and go back to work for fucking Lucasfilm. Because they know they're going to make way less money. And they know Hollywood's dirty, obviously. And they know that they work in Mandalorian, they're going to be left behind. As once I'm king, The Mandalorian, Boba Fett, all those shows are all the side attention. They're no longer, they're all the side attention now. All the Marvel movies are the side attention. And Marvel movies are big, man. When I mean Marvel movies, I mean even like the big Marvel movies like Avengers. I heard they're making another Avengers movies. I heard they're going to make another Avengers movie for Phase 5. You see what I'm saying? I heard they're going to make another Avengers movie for Phase 5, obviously. Obviously, yeah. Even those big movies, even those big Marvel movies that are going to be released in the future, they're all the side tension once I start Sky Source. So I start Sky Source, I don't know, 2026 I start Sky Source with VJ. 2025 I start Sky Source. 2026, 2027 around there, I'm hard at work in the office for the Zane's movie project. Guaranteed what? Guaranteed all these CEOs and execs are going to feel like shit in Hollywood. Yeah. And that's why Peter's going to beg, man. Ivan, please. He's going to want to work for me until he dies. And I just want to work for you for the rest of my life. I don't want to work in Hollywood, man. Because he got I don't know, he got paid his nice, like, $100 million check for his signing bonus. He doesn't make that in Hollywood. Peter Jackson probably makes like $25, $30 million for his base salary around there. $25 million bucks he makes. And he might negotiate for a nice $50, $60 million of royalties. $100 million if he's lucky, $150 million. But he doesn't negotiate for the kind of money I'm paying him for fucking Zane's, man. Like $350 million, no. He will not make that kind of money in Hollywood. He'll make maybe $100 million in royalties, $50 million in royalties. But not like $350, $400 million in royalties. No, Hollywood can't afford that. That's all their profits gone, man. They can't afford it. Whereas for my company, I can easily afford it because the profits for my company are in the tens of billions. And so I can easily pay Peter a nice $400 million in royalties. It's not affecting my budget at all. Whereas Hollywood, that's like a good chunk of their profits gone. Because the Hollywood movies don't do the kind of money that my movies do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hence why even Peter Jackson will beg his ass off like crazy, man. He's gonna beg. He's gonna beg his ass off, Peter Jackson. You're gonna see Mel Gibson begging. Mel Gibson begging his ass off too. Yeah. You're gonna see Mel Gibson begging. You're gonna see Peter Jackson begging. You're gonna see all these guys begging, man. Begging their asses off. Yeah, man. Because what? My company is better than Hollywood. Yeah, man. My company is so good that everyone worldwide will want to work for me, obviously. But I told you, C-list people are out. I'm not hiring C-list people. I'm only hiring Hollywood actors, Hollywood crewmen, Hollywood teams. C-list crewmen are out. I'm not hiring C-list crewmen. Is if I allow C-list crewmen to work for my company, my movie won't be as good. If I have C-list actors in my movie won't be as good. It won't be as good as Hollywood. And what? I don't have time to look at like 200,000 resumes, guys. I only want to look at a couple hundred. I'm not going to look at all these fucking resumes. And C-list people are not worth $150,000 for my company. They're only worth like 40, 50K. if I were to hire these people to work for my company, I'd pay them like 50, 60K. I wouldn't pay them like 150K. They're not worth that. Only the Hollywood crewmen are worth 150K because they have Hollywood experience. That's why I only want Hollywood Lord of the Rings. I only want the Lord. I'm gonna put on that. You must have worked on Lord of the Rings movie projects or The Hobbit. I'll say either Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. So all the people who worked on The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings are welcome to work for my company, for my Zane's project. That's it. All the other crewmen who worked in Hollywood are not allowed to work for my Zane's project. I don't want anyone else except for those guys, except for the Lord of the Rings crewmen. The Lord of the Rings crewmen or the Hobbit crewmen. Because I heard most of the same crewmen worked on The Hobbit. So just say The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. I want people who worked on The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings to work on my Zane's movie. As they're the best people to work on my Zanus movie, because you're looking at a fantasy world for Zanus. As hire a crewman who did a fantasy movie to work on your movie. Hence why I only want the Lord of the Rings crewman to work on my Zanus movie. And then for the Great Escape, I'll hire like John Wick crewman or James Bond crewman to work on that movie. And then Very Unique, I'll hire Twilight crewman. In that movie, I'll probably hire King Kong crewman, Skull Island crewman to work on that movie. And the Western Gangster, you can hire the crewman who worked on The Revenant if you want. The Revenant, yeah, something like that. The Revenant. Hire the crewman who worked on The Revenant to work on that movie, yeah. That way they have better ideas for your world building and building your sets. You hire a crewman who worked on a similar genre, they'll have more ideas for your movie. You hire a crewman who do not work in the same genre, you'll still get a good movie, but they won't have as much ideas compared to the people who worked on the same genre. In a similar genre, right? Yeah. After this video, I'm gonna take a nice cold shower. It's fucking humid in here. Holy shit. It is humid here. Yeah. And I get my check tomorrow. Either today or tomorrow, so I'm very excited. And any day now, the Rad Brad remastered Last of Us walkthrough will be out on his channel. I'm going to watch that. And I'm going to watch Rings of Power this Friday. Or I might wait until the full 8-10 episodes are out. I believe it's 8 to 10 episodes. And then once it's out, I'll binge the whole thing. Or I might just watch it on Friday because I always read blogs on Lord of the Rings Reddit, and you're gonna have to watch out for spoilers. People are gonna spoil some scenes, obviously. See what I'm saying? Yeah, hence why even guys like Peter Jackson will beg, Mel Gibson will beg. Yeah, they're gonna beg, man, because I gave Peter my company's Burn Hollywood. I gave Peter an unlimited budget. I gave Peter an unlimited budget, obviously. Whereas for Lord of the Rings, they gave Peter a fuck you $90 million budget. He still pulled it off, obviously. Lord of the Rings was a masterpiece. But Peter Jackson, he only got like a $90 million budget for Lord of the Rings. I heard it cost New Line a good $555 million, including marketing costs for the 3 movies. They spent a good like $270 million in for the 3 movies for their budget. And an additional They spent an additional like $280 million in marketing costs. They marketed the shit out of Lord of the Rings. I remember back in 2001. I remember I kept seeing all these Lord of the Rings ads. I remember when I went on TV, I kept seeing the Lord of the Rings commercials on TV. Yeah, they marketed the shit out of Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that back then there was no YouTube back then, hence they have to rely on previews of the theaters and the television commercials on TV, yeah. Whereas now you have YouTube, so it cuts down. Now the marketing cost for big budget movies is probably not as high because now you have social media. You can just post a trailer on YouTube, and you can get like 200 million people watching that. Yeah, it cuts down the cost, and all you have to do is put it at previews at the theaters and put TV trailers on YouTube. Put trailers on YouTube, and now they also put a lot of trailers on YouTube ads, because YouTube is more popular than TV nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember watching the Fellowship of the Ring trailer. I remember that. I remember 2001, The Lord of the Rings, and oh my god, this movie looks scary, man. It looks scary. Because I was 8-9 years old at the time, right? This movie looks fucking scary, yeah. And I saw Fellowship of the Ring on theaters, and I saw Return of the King on theaters, but I did not get to see 2000. I was really bummed out about that. I remember I kept asking my parents for money. They would never give me money because they're fucking evil. Hey, can I have like, because back then the movie tickets were only like $5. Elmer Cinema had cheap tickets for like $5.50. You know what I'm saying? I kept asking my step parents, they're like, I don't have any money because they fucking hate me, you know what I'm saying? I never got to see all Two Towers on theaters. So I was very bummed out about that. But I saw the first one and the third one on theaters. I saw Fellowship of the Ring on theaters. That was the best cinematic experience of my life. Really, Ivan? Yes. Ivan, what was the best cinematic experience of your life? The best cinematic experience of my life for a movie was Lord of the Rings, and my second best experience would probably be Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars. That was a fucking masterpiece when I saw it. Ivan, really, yes. Revenge of the Sith was like one of the best movie experiences of my life. I remember when I watched it, I was so hooked watching that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hate on the prequels all you want, but man, Revenge of the Sith was a masterpiece, man. That was an amazing movie, man. Definitely my top like 10 favorite movies of all time. Top 20 favorite movies at least, right? It's a good movie, man. That was a masterpiece by George Lucas. Attack of the Clones was okay. Phantom Menace was pretty good, but Revenge of the Sith was a masterpiece. Revenge of the Sith was a fucking amazing movie. Yeah, that was an amazing movie, man. Remember I saw it in theaters. I'm like, oh my god, this is sick. I was hooked watching it. This is sick. I saw it when I was like 13 years old, back in 2005. I remember that. You know what I'm saying? I saw it on theaters. I was like 13 years old, whatever it is. Yeah, that was an amazing experience. But the best movie experience I ever had on theaters was Fellowship of the Ring. Fellowship of the Ring was the best experience I ever had on theaters. Like, I remember watching it, I thought the orcs were fucking scary. Because I was only like 8, 9 years old when I watched it. I was 10 years old when I watched it. I remember the orcs and all the ring, they scared the shit out of me. They don't scare me that. Even now when I watch it, it's a little bit disturbing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I'm an adult now. It's not as scary. I remember when I watched it, the first time I watched it when I was like 10, 9 years old, it was fucking scary. I'm like, holy shit, this is scary. Yeah. And if you think that's scary, nothing compared to Zane. Zane's looking at literal demons, man. You're looking at devils and demons. Looking at scary wolves, scary bats, demons, man. So scary that even adults will shit in their pants, man. Even adults will shit in their pants when they watch a movie. Holy shit. Eratat's a devil, man. This is real horror. Yeah. Looking at real horror. So Peter, he experienced my Scottish company, being flown on my private jet, 3 beers in a jet, my unheard of payment system, my nice property of land like Gran Turismo, my nice studio, special effects, my nice special effects unit building, my nice concert art room, the doc team filming with the independent movie cameras, the buzz with the fans, party at my $300 million condo, my $55 million yacht. You know what I'm saying? The worldwide buzz, the unlimited budget for world building, action scenes, horror of the wolves and bats. You know what I'm saying? Unheard of extras, the luxury buffet, the 3 beers, the once a month parties, the 3rd year, the trailers for the doc, the trailers for the movie, the world tour. If I go on that world tour, he experienced all that. You know what I'm saying? And he also knows he made I don't know his $480 million paycheck for my movie. He got his freedom. Guaranteed he's gonna beg. He's gonna beg. Can you blame him for begging? No, he's gonna beg because he knows my company's better than Hollywood. And he wants to be saved. He doesn't want to be left behind. And my company is better than Hollywood. Yeah, man. Show my camera.